So what better way to celebrate the 4th of July than to be able to recap what have been the most traded stocks in Congress and who has had the best return. I mean, some of these are actually laughable, and in no way am I insinuating that any of this is insider trading. I think that we just have some of the greatest investors of all time, fortunately also working for the people and representing the people in Congress. Without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump into my screen. I really hope that you learned something new, and if you do, please consider dropping a thumbs up and subscribing if you feel like we earned it. One of the things that I quickly wanted to share with you is the thing that always piqued my attention is being able to look at, okay, well, what stocks, at least for 2024, have been the most traded by members of Congress. So it says numbers of members who traded the stock in 2023. I do apologize. The first one, Microsoft. Microsoft has had a really great return. JP Morgan, Apple, Alphabet, Nvidia, Amazon, Verizon, Johnson & Johnson, Coca-Cola, and Comcast. Okay, well, what exactly does this mean? Maybe, again, they're not making a ton of money. They can trade any stocks they want all collectively, but it doesn't mean that they have to yield a great return. You let me know in the comment section what you think. This is the S&P 500. SPY is the S&P 500 ETF for those that are not familiar with it. So Congress beat the market in a big way in 2023. 2023 for the top 10 traders in Congress. I want to let you guys know that I actually pulled up the whole list. And the members in Congress who beat the S&P 500 in 2023 were a total of 37 members in Congress. These are just the top 10, okay? Brian Higgins, Democrat, 238%. Again, I'm sure there was no insider trading there. I'm sure that it was just all calculated. He's just one of the greatest traders of all time. Mark Green, Republican, 122.2%. Garrett Graves, 107.6%. David, 105%, all three Republican. Seth, what is that? Malton, 80% return. Ron, 78% return. John, 69% return. Richard, 68% return. Nancy Pelosi, can you guys believe it? Nancy Pelosi isn't the best trader of all time. I mean, she's obviously the one that gets all of the attention, but definitely not the best trader of all time. Does she have the largest account or the largest net worth? It's one Google search away. You guys can feel free to look it up. Nancy Pelosi with a 65% return, and then Pete with a 63% return. The thing that I wanted to pull up very quickly is, okay, well, now we know who's the best trader in Congress in 2023, the top 10 at least. We know what stocks were the most heavily traded in 2023, but which ones offered triple-digit returns? And I wanted to bring this to you guys and let you guys decide on your own. So Nvidia was one of the top most traded stocks in Congress in 2023, right? Because we pulled it up right here. I didn't want it just to be that, oh, only a few people did it. No, 18 members traded Nvidia in 2023. I want to remind you that in 2023 was when Nancy Pelosi announced and reported that she purchased, I think it was like a little bit over $1 million worth of Nvidia options. It was like 1 to 5 million. I'm not too sure the exact amount. And then 1 month later, in January of 2024, Nvidia announced a partnership. So is it random that a bunch of congressmen and women wanted to invest in Nvidia so willingly because they were going to regulate or partner up with the US in a way that could have caused the stock to skyrocket? Again, yeah, you guys let me know what it is that you think. But check this out. Nvidia stock from the beginning of 2023 to the highs that we've made in 2024, an 806% return. Coinbase is actually the second stock that had one of the greatest returns that was partnered in Congress. So Coinbase Global, which obviously does have a lot to do with Bitcoin's performance. I want to remind you that, again, it is our government that come up with, the Bitcoin ETF approval, all that process, if we're going to regulate or not regulate. So again, they're able to invest in these companies that they choose to regulate, right? We, the people, for some reason, allow these politicians and give them access and their family members that they can choose to trade companies that they regulate. Yet we do not allow college athletes or professional athletes to be able to bet on games that they partake in. Simply just doesn't make sense to me. Coinbase, from the lows that we've made in 2023 to the highs that we've had in 2024, a 773% return. But again, I'm sure that it was all just a calculated return. I'm sure they just got lucky. It had nothing to do with insider information. NGL is the third stock that they brought up, and that in the start of January, we could see that it was at lows of $1, looks pretty risky, and hit highs of $6, and that was a 400% return. But as of right now, it's only a 363% return. And these three companies, Coinbase, NGL, so NGL Energy Partners, check this one out. Republican Mark Green. Why does Mark Green sound familiar? Let's go ahead and quickly just go back to this. Was it? Oh, yes, because he was one of the top traders in 2023. Mark Green was the second most successful stock investor in the U.S. Congress last year. The Tennessee Republican topped a 122% return. And again, a lot of his return came from ticker symbol NGL. Very interesting. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. So Nvidia, Republican Brian Higgins. And why does Brian Higgins sound familiar? Oh yeah, he was the top investor of 2023 that is in Congress, a 238% return. So Republican Representative Brian Higgins saw his investment skyrocket 239% in 2023. This return made him by far the biggest stock trading winner in Congress. And then again, a handful of other individuals that also invested in Nvidia that saw a great return in 2023. The part that just cracks me up is we can obviously see that not only are they outperforming S&P 500, but they are outperforming hedge funds. They are outperforming the greatest investors of all time. But again, in no way am I insinuating that any of these politicians have any insider information, right? Because it's not like they come up with and regulate policies and make up laws of what companies can or cannot do, and they have access to all of that before we, the people, do. But yet they're able to do all of that, regulate those companies, and still able to invest in those companies. But all they have to actually do is them or their family members just have to disclose it to the SEC 45 days or within 45 days of taking those trades. I'm sure a lot of you guys saw me talk about it yesterday, especially if you follow me on Instagram. But again, one of the things that we just had to start doing is tracking these politicians' trades. I send out a newsletter that's absolutely for free every single Monday, unless Nancy Pelosi takes a trade and it's submitted. I do send that at random. So yesterday I sent one at random because Nancy Pelosi announced that she bought 2 new stocks and sold 2 new stocks. So I had to make sure that I kept you guys up to date. But if you guys want to subscribe to this free newsletter, it's the first link in the description down below. Just type in your email, subscribe. It's absolutely for free. And I'll send you a newsletter every single Monday, right around 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, just keeping you up to date on, hey, did any politicians take any trades in the past 7 days? And with that, we can better track to get a little bit closer to some of the greatest investors of all time. Let me know down in the comment section what you think. I wish you guys an amazing, happy Independence Day, 4th of July. And also, I did want to let you guys know that we are running a 50% off sale. If you guys haven't signed up for LPP 2.0, it's the second link in the description down below. And I want to remind you that if you are someone that learns best by watching other people do, I don't trade live once a week or once a month. I trade live every day right at market open for about 30 minutes to an hour. If you want to tune on in, I do it live. Second link in the description down below. It's a 50% off discount, one-time payment, lifetime access, and you'll get to be able to watch me trade live every single day. I appreciate your time. Hope that earned a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.